Okay, so we're coming to what we call safe sitting. So we're sitting, you'll be on a dining chair, so your back is supported. And we want to have the thighs parallel to the floor rather than have your feet back, which is too much of a stretch on the hips. So we want the feet facing forward and your knees over your heels. We call that safe sitting, and what we try to do is get into the habit of sitting like this whenever you can. If you think about when we get resting on the settee, everything slouches, it's a big strain on the back, we can't breathe too well and we can't digest our food, and that position can lead to depression as well, as odd as it seems. So if we sit up nice and tall, that's also said to lift our mental spirit. And then we just want the shoulders to relax off our ears, so we've got a nice long neck, and we're not thrusting the chin forward or dropping the head or coming side to side. We've just got parallel chin to floor, feet firmly on the floor. And let's just take a few breaths, just notice how we feel. So when we breathe, let's just bring our hands to the belly. Let's try and breathe all the way down to your hands on the belly. So as you breathe in, just feel your breath moving to push your belly away slightly. No, never forcing. And then as we breathe out, just gliding or letting the belly relax really. So just breathing in at your own pace and then breathing out, relaxing the belly. And as I'm talking, you're just going to breathe at your own rhythm and pace. Don't ever feel you have to move with me, breathe with me. You can rest whenever you need. So try and stay with that attention to breath. We bring our hands to rest on our knees. And let yourself tune in to that sensation. Just what do you feel? Are your hands warm, cool, soft? Can you relax the hands? And the next time we breathe in, just feel that you're coming a little bit taller, no force. And then just kind of rounding out, tucking the chin to the chest as you breathe out. Now, I know some of you are very new to yoga, so don't worry too much about breathing. Just be sure that you're breathing comfortably and quite slowly. I'm just going to move the arm out of the way. You're keeping your hands on your knees, but just to show you the shapes we're making with the spine. And imagine you're moving all of your spine, so you're noticing any tight areas, treating those with care and respect. And as well, noticing the bits that move comfortably, and maybe just having a little bit of gratitude that that part of us is working okay today. Let's do 2 more like this. Maybe you're finding a little bit more movement, or maybe you're finding actually you need to ease off a little bit. So we're never doing anything that causes any pain. All our movements are slow and deliberate to avoid jarring ourselves, causing any problems. We keep taking little rests just to notice the effects of what we've done. And we're just going to start to bring the shoulders up and back, and then down, and forward, up, back and down. So you're making deliberate circles. Make sure you keep breathing whenever holding our breath. We let the movements be quite slow, and the reason behind that is that can help reduce mental stress. That sends a signal to the brain that we're safe, so therefore we relax the muscles a little bit more. Slow, deeper breathing also helps to reduce high blood pressure, to ease the strain on our hearts. Let's take a moment just to relax, make sure we're comfortable. And then we'll take that right shoulder forward and the left shoulder forward. So you're starting to find your own little rhythm. And it's okay to sway the body a little bit, so we never want to be rigid. So if your body wants to move, let it do it. You could smile. Lovely. And gradually slow back down. And when you're ready, just notice, what do your shoulders feel like? Does it feel okay? Then we're going to inhale, breathe in, hunch your shoulders up around your ears. Open your mouth and sigh out as you drop your shoulders down quite suddenly. We're going to do that a couple of times, lifting up as you breathe in. And then breathing out quite hard, because our body holds toxins in the body that can create pain, and when we can breathe out a lot of the lactic acid that's caught up in our muscles that causes aches and pains. The lungs get rid of a lot of toxins. So 2 more. And then let your breathing just come back to normal. So don't want to strain the breathing at all. I'm going to bring the hands to rest in the centre of your chest. Let's have the left hand on top. And as we breathe in, let's take that left arm just out to the side and just turn our head and look at it. And then breathe out, bring your left hand underneath the right one. And breathe in, look right. And breathe out, left hand on top. Just keep that going at your pace. We're never ever in a hurry. Just remembering to alternate which hand is on top, so that's working the brain as well. As we get a little bit more free, we might be able just to open up a little bit more. We might be supposed to take the hand behind us, but we're not straining. And then coming back. So we get a little bit more movement in the spine and in the ribs. And then as we take the left hand out and behind, look right. And then bring your head back to centre as you bring that left hand back. Just go at your pace. As you take your right hand back and behind, look left. All the time we're noticing how we feel with these movements. Let's do 2 more each side. Try and breathe into that lung that you feel open. When you take your right hand back, you feel your rib cage really open. And the same on the left. Try and imagine you just inflating that side. Last one, at your own pace. And the rest. Do you need something there, Camilla? Do you want to unmute yourself? So yeah, if we've ever get pain, we just go slightly less than that. So if your arm is all right there, but sore there, we only go there. And we don't limit ourselves, because we know that some days we can easily move and some days we can't. So we move with whatever we have at the moment. So making sure we're still sitting in that comfortable, safe position. I'd like you to breathe your right arm forward and then breathe it down. And breathe your left arm forward and breathe it down. So we're staying with that. And just imagine you reach, imagine there's a box of chocolates there just out of reach. Just reach a little bit more and then bring the hand down. And if we can, we'll connect that to breath. So we reach forward as we breathe in and come down as we breathe out. Reach and come down. Okay, so we're going to make that just a little bit more adventurous. So we push forward and pull back. Push forward, pull back. So you really feel your arms are working. So you're reaching as far as you can, then pulling back like you're pulling on a rope or a weight, or moving through treacle. And we can start to speed it up. So it's almost like we're swimming through space. And again, if your body kind of wants to have a little bit of a twist in it, a little bit of a sway with it, just go with what feels natural. This is helping to work the ribs and the little muscles that control the lungs as well. So you might find you're breathing a bit deeper. And just see how you are. If you have blood pressure problems, we don't really want to take the hands higher than the head. But if you're okay, we can reach up and pull down. Or you could stay with just moving forward. And again, we might have this little bit of sway happening. If your neck is enabling you to do it, looking up at your hand. Imagine you're pulling down on a bell rope, so you want to activate your muscles. Feel them pulling down. This should hopefully get our heart rate up a little bit, looking after the heart, and help us to breathe a little bit more deeply. And we go forward and back, forward and back. And then maybe take your hand all the way behind and look over that arm. Let's do one more each side. And take a rest. I can feel that. So breathing a bit deeper, a bit warmer around the shoulders. You might feel the need now just to roll the shoulders a little bit. Just feel like you're loosening any residual tightness there. Always treating yourself with kindness and respect. So our fingers then just going to rest on the tops of your shoulders, so your elbows kind of down. And as we breathe in, just lift your elbows like wings and breathe out, drop them back down. Just noticing how your shoulders respond. Hopefully we can feel the shoulder blades moving. And then if it feels okay, maybe when we've lifted up, we can just hold it for a moment and then release. And as you hold your elbows up there, can you feel your ribs opening up a bit? So we're giving our body more space for that all-important breath. Last one. Going to hold it this time here. Bring your fingertips to rest on the shoulders and draw little circles with your elbows. It doesn't have to be massive. We want it to be relatively slow. And we want to make sure we keep on breathing. And if it feels okay, you can gradually deepen the movements. So you might even be able to touch your elbows in front of your chest to give the upper back a stretch. It's a place where we can get very tight there, so just work with what feels good. One more. And come to rest. And give your shoulders a little bit of a wriggle so we get the blood flowing back in there. And just check again that you feel comfortable. That we're sitting nice and tall. And we're just going to lift your right heel off the floor. So stretch into the sole of your foot, then take it down. Then lift your left one and down. Then lift both heels. So feel the squeeze in your calf muscles. Take both heels down. So lift right, down, left, down, both, down, right, down, left, down, both, down. So this keeps pumping blood back to the heart and helps to prevent and reduce swelling in the ankles. And it's really important that we keep the feet flexible as well. They tighten up, especially at the moment when we're kind of shuffling along outside so we don't slip and we're stuffed inside our boots. So now we're going to bring right heel up, left hand forward and down. Left heel up, right hand forward, down. Both heels up, both arms forward, down. Let's keep that going. So it's opposite hand to foot. Right, nice smooth movements. Again, so we don't jar ourselves. And if it feels good when we lift both heels, dip both arms up, get a lovely full stretch. One more. And come down. And just check in with yourself how that feels. So you can continue to lift and lower your heels if that feels okay. Or we can go a little bit stronger and lift your thigh up and down. We're not going to do both, just alternate. Lifting and lowering. And with your hand on your thigh, you can feel that activates that thigh muscle. So that does lots of things. We need those thigh muscles to work. I call them the muscles of independence, because your knees don't have any muscles. They rely on this big thigh muscle. So when that goes, that's when we struggle to get out of the chair, for instance. So it's downhill from there. So these are really important, muscles of independence, I call them. Don't go too fast because we're going to keep it going. We're going to tap the opposite knee. So left hand, right foot, right hand, left, not foot, sorry, knee. Sorry. Tap in. And again, we can get a little bit of a twist going on, get a little bit of a rhythm. Just enjoying some movement, be as free as we can be. And now we're going to tap, tap. Down, 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 down. We're going to keep the brain active, so tapping with your right hand, clicking with your left hand. Tapping with your left hand, clicking with the right hand. Last one. And rest. So take that pause again, just looking at yourself, just acknowledging as your heart up a bit, hopefully. Breathing a bit deeper, feeling a bit warm. And if the heating's on like it is in here, if you've got a little bit of a sweat going, that's good as well. That's a detoxing. Okay, so we're going to work the brain a little bit. So remember we used to do tapping, clapping games in the playground. We're going to work with that. So we're going to clap, tap both thighs. Just going to keep that going. Tap, clap, tap. Getting faster. And rest. So that warms us up definitely from the inside. Our brain is a really clever thing. Even as we get older, if we do new things, the brain can create new messages. So if we work something on one side of the body that's different to the opposite side, that helps brain waves to travel from the one side of the brain to the other side. It's called neuroplasticity if you want to look it up, but it's really clever for keeping the brain alert. So we're going to have a little play with this as well. So we're going to clap the hands, tap your right hand to your left leg. Clap your hands, left hand to right leg. Clap, cross, clap, cross, clap, cross, clap, cross. Keep getting faster. And we'll pause, because I lost it, and breathe. So we should always be able to breathe just through the nose. We should never be gasping through the mouth. When we mouth breathe, that sends a message to the brain that we're in danger. When we nose breathe, the breath travels over a little nerve on top of the lip that makes the brain know that we're safe. So we need to just keep stopping to get the breath comfortable. So we're going to change that now. We'll clap, cross, clap, cross, clap, down, stretch. Clap, cross, clap, cross, clap, down, stretch. Cross, clap, down, stretch. Two more. Lovely, so I've got a nice glow happening here, so hopefully we've got some energy moving through the body, so waking us up a bit, hopefully feeling internally warm. So those are simple things, but it is really, really important to warm up from the inside so that then we're very safe moving the joints. So we're going to do a little bit more of a side stretch now. So just make sure you feel very tall again. Not going to let the knees bang in together. So if you find your knees banging together, a good idea is just to get, say, a dictionary and just squeeze that between your upper thighs. So not between the knees, because that will make you go knock-kneed, but between the thighs. And it will also, as you squeeze in there, lift your pelvic floor. So if we're prone to a bit of leakage, this is a good pelvic floor exercise. So we're just going to start very gently, hands on the hips, nice and tall, and ease over as we breathe out. We want to feel that side stretch without any strain in the lower back. And we're making sure we don't lift our bottom, so your bottom is anchored down. And we breathe into the centre and we breathe out over to the other side. So find your rhythm, and we'll do a few of those. And if you do suffer with your back, I would say keep it at this level till you know that the next day doesn't hurt. I wouldn't push yourself too far. But if you're comfy, we can bring your fingertips to your shoulder and look up at your elbows, so you're lifting the elbows, so we get more of a side stretch, and then come down. And don't be in a hurry to go to the other side, let your body come to neutral first. So we're always working nice and safely. We can look up at the elbows, that's going to work the neck as well, so if the neck is stiff it's good to work it, but again just within the limits of what it will allow. Stay with either of those. If you feel very comfy, you can straighten the arm all the way up and all the way down, but that does put potentially more strain on the back and more strain on the heart. So you've got to work with what feels appropriate for you. This is the last one. Pause. So the spine does need to move in every direction for health. They say the secret of youth is a healthy spine. So we're working the spine in all directions. So we're sitting nice and tall. I'm just going to cross the hands over the chest. And I'd like you just to pull your belly back, just your lower belly back. So it's like your trousers are too tight after your Christmas dinner or after a year of lockdown. And we've just got to work a little bit harder to get that zip up. So just that gentle lift through the belly. That protects the back as we just ease forward. So we're imagining we're going to take the elbows to the thigh, but we might not get that deep, don't worry. Keep that lift on the belly as we come back up. And if you can, connect that to breathing. So we come forward as we breathe out. So it's opening the lower back, and we breathe in as we come up. If that's too deep for you, only go as far as you can. This is also a massage for the belly. So we feel the squeeze when we go forward and release on the belly as we come back. So that's equally important. So I'm trusting you only to go to what's right for you. Remember, it's tomorrow when we might feel any ill effects. You could come lower if it suits you. And tighten the belly as you go down and as you come back up. So tightening the belly supports your back. They're called your core muscles, and they prevent us putting all the work in the back. So if it feels safe and comfortable, the next time we come there, we're going to stay in our forward bend. So that might just be resting your forearms over your lap, sticking your bottom out, and we're trying not to round the back or arch the back, just have a nice long spine. And if you're very comfortable, we might just come forward and take your chin to your chest. But I wouldn't do that if you know you've got a back problem. Just go with what you can do and feel that space in the back of the body, and imagine you're breathing into that space and relaxing that space a little bit more with every breath. Keep the shoulders relaxed, soften your jaw, tighten the belly, push your feet into the floor, and that will also strengthen your core to bring you up nice and safely. Okay, so we're going to come into a sequence of movements now. Going to flow. We're going to bring the hands together. And as we take our next breath in, we're going to reach the arms up. Feel that lovely, lovely stretch. Maintain the stretch as you ease forward. So you're only moving your arms and your back as far as your body is enabling you to do just now. We tighten the belly to flow back up. And we bring the hands back to the heart. Lovely. Let's do that again. It's a lovely full stretch. Feel the stretch in the belly. Feel that little lift in the tummy. And we lengthen forward just as far as you can. Keep your tummy lifted as we come up. If your arms don't go overhead, that doesn't matter. But this time we're going to bring the hands around the back of your right leg. And we're going to bring that knee in as close to your body as you can. And we're kind of using that leg as a lever. So rather than collapse into it, which stops us breathing well, puts strain on the back, prevents us digesting well, we're sitting up nice and tall. And then we're going to wait for the next breath in and take that right foot out in front. We're going to hold it here and push back and forth with your ankle. Enough to feel that squeezing of your calf muscle. Again, helping reduce any swelling, helping keep the heart and blood flowing. And then we're going to bring that knee in and just see if it could lift up. So it's not going to go to the collarbone, but imagine that's where we're taking it. A little bit higher up. Try not to let our shoulders hunch up. And let's take that ankle in circles now. And around the other direction. And then let's take that foot down. And if you kind of feel you need to wriggle or rub anything, do whatever your body needs for you to be comfortable. And then we'll do the left side when you're ready. So we'll bring the hands to the chest. Take as big a stretch as you're able. It's nice and slow. Lower tummy stays lifted as we ease forward. And we lift just as far as we're comfortable. Try and find space in the waist and the ribs. And bring your left leg in. And again, we're hugging it close to us so we can stay upright. And this does tend to happen a lot, bringing shoulders up. So just do what you can to drop the shoulders down. Smile, remind yourself you're doing this to take care of yourself. Now we'll reach forward with the left foot, supporting it underneath, and push forward and back. Slow is more effective, more efficient. Make sure you're breathing nice and deeply. And then we'll bring the knee in as though you're lifting your knee up towards your collarbone. We want to feel the thigh squeezing the belly if we can. And then we take the ankle round in circles. So really, really beneficial, this working our hip, our knee, our ankle. So we take that left foot round in circles. And then take it down. And rest. And again, observe how you feel. So I'm going to do a little bit different this time. I'm going to take the right foot forwards, pushing that right heel onto the ground. And imagine you're drawing your toes back towards your face. So we should feel a stretch down the length of the back of the leg. If it's too much, just put a soft knee bend in. We're going to reach up. So lengthen the spine. Link your fingers at the top. And as we breathe out, bend your elbows and just let your palms hover over your head. Then turn your palms up and stretch up. So it's going to be a little bit of a different experience on the shoulder. And then ease forward, bringing the palms to rest on your left thigh and just easing as far forward as is good for you. So all we want to do is feel space in the back and a stretch in the back of the right leg. And as we relax, we might find we just release just a little bit more. So when we're stretching, we need to hold for a minimum of 30 seconds to get that effect. Push your left foot to the floor, draw your tummy up and ease all the way up. Let's take the left arm out to the left side and follow it around as we look to the left. Then sweep that left arm around in front and tap your right shoulder as we look to the right. Let's do that again. Sweeping the left arm round, looking left, and around to your right. So you're just going to bring your hand to your right shoulder. Let's do one more. Open up. Really big breath. All the way around again. So opening the upper back. Breathe in, open to the side. Let's open through the right side. Lift your heart. Full breath in and slowly come back into that neutral sitting position. We feel the changes in our body. Let's take our left foot forward now, left heel pressing against the ground, toes coming back towards us, only enough to feel a gentle stretch. When you're ready to inhale, sweep your arms up. If that feels too much, coming forward is fine. Link the fingers at the top and slowly bend the elbows so your palms hover. Turn your palms up, working your wrists a little. Stretch up and come forward. So again, we want a long back as we rest the hands on the thigh. And we're only coming as far forward as feels good for you. I know we're looking at cameras, but just be careful we're not sticking the chin out. So head is neutral. And we're using the breath just to gently relax into it a little bit. So come out, push your heels to the floor, tighten your belly and sit up nice and tall. Take your time with your moving. I'm going to sweep that right arm out to the side, follow it round with your head and bring it all the way around. Rest your right hand on your left shoulder, looking over the left shoulder. Let's do two more nice and slowly. All the way back to the centre, open that right arm out, open up the left arm, lift your chest, raise your eyes, breathe deep and release. Again, paying attention to what you feel, where you feel it. So if you've ever had a hip replacement and you've been told not to take your legs wide, keep them at a level that you know you're allowed to do. If we're allowed to take the legs wider, just take them comfortably wide so you're just starting to feel a bit of a stretch here. It's not the most elegant position, but nobody's looking. And our knees are over our heels so that our feet are on the floor, nice and safe. I'm going to come into something, it's called the Salute to the Elements, which is really popular when we do it in class to music. Unfortunately, copyright, we're not allowed to use music on recordings. But we're going to bring our hands to our hearts and just feel that sense of connecting to you, to all that you are, your uniqueness. And then stretch your arms wide and just feel that you're connecting to all that there is around us, all that space around us. I'm just going to come forward, doesn't matter if we don't get the hands to the floor, but just imagine scooping up really clear fresh water and lifting it up and sprinkling it over you. Imagine it's the purest, freshest water imaginable, just refreshing you. And then sway side to side. You can have your hands lower if you need. Just feel like you're swaying on the breeze. We've got the air in our lungs, we can't live without that. Let's be a little bit grateful for the air in our lungs. And then make fists with your hands, just light fists, and rest those fists in the lower back. So this just, excuse me, helps to open the front of the body up a little bit. If you think of everything we normally do, brings us a bit rounded. So this is just helping us to lift up. And imagine a beam of sunlight resting on your belly. And imagine that you're sending out a beam of sunlight into the rest of the world. And then we're going to stretch the arms up. So we've still got those little fists. We're going to look over your right leg. So if you've got a back problem, we're just only going to rest our hands on the thigh. If you know your back is okay, we can rest the hands on the floor. And then we come back up. And this is connecting us to the earth, to the ground that's supporting us. It's where all life grows from. And we come all the way back up. We're going to come back to water. So a little lift on the belly to protect your back. And this time we're going to bring the hands up in the shape of a flower. So this is representing the lotus flower, which is India's sacred flower. And it's said to open up, it comes through really dark murky ponds, but it knows there's light there and it shines. So imagine you're shining your beauty, your strength, your courage out for the world to see. And then gently close in those petals and bring those qualities into your heart. Okay, so we're going to do it twice more. Don't worry about getting it perfect, just enjoy the movements. I'm going to stop talking for a bit to give your ears a rest, and you can just feel the movements as you flow with them. So just enjoy it. Let yourself rest in that stillness for a moment. Just checking in with yourself with how you feel. And I'd like you to make yourself very comfortable now. We're just going to do a short relaxation session. So if you're able to lie on the floor, that might be more comfy. Or sit back in your chair or even against a wall. Use any cushions, pillows that you need for support. And if it's a bit cool, just wrap a little sheet round your shoulders. You don't need to be able to see me, just to be able to hear me is okay. Just let your eyes gently close. Feel the support of your chair or the ground, whatever is supporting you. And let yourself relax into that support. Any tension that's still in your body, simply melt away. Do all that you can for the next 5 minutes, just to keep your awareness on these words. We're so good at judging ourselves, judging our body, criticising it for the way it looks or when it doesn't always work the way we want to. I'd like us to spend these minutes together practicing loving kindness towards your body. I'd like you to feel a sense of friendliness towards yourself, a sense of accepting however your body is. I'd like you to feel that you're sending compassion to your body. I'd just like you to pay attention to those parts in your body that you like, that work well, that are pain-free. Just rest in that feeling of liking or even loving those parts of your body. And if there are any areas of your body that you're not particularly happy with, I'd like you to send kindness to that part. I'd like you to mentally repeat to yourself, let me be kind to my body. Let me make friends with my body. Let me love my body. I'd like you to set an intention with yourself that for at least the rest of today, you treat your body with love and compassion and kindness. And just let yourself slowly tune into this moment. Without judgment, notice how you feel. Start to gradually become aware of the sounds around you. And gradually breathe just a little bit deeper. Bringing energy into your body. Let your fingers and toes just begin to move. And let your head roll gently side to side. Keep your eyes closed as you rest your hands over your chest, your heart. Bow your head. And send some respect to yourself, because it really isn't easy committing to a practice online. So send some respect to yourself for taking this short time to look after yourself. Gradually easing yourself to sitting when you're ready. Be sure to have a glass of water. A nice end to your day.